In the land of Umuoka, there lived a young ward named Obi who worked for the king. The king was very fond of him and went everywhere with him. Obi had one habit. He said, "Thank God for everything." If someone sneezed, Obi would say, "Thank God." If someone hit their leg on a chair, Obi would shout, "Thank God." If rain fell during sunshine, Obi would dance and say, "Thank God." Even when the palace cat stole meat from the pot, Obi smiled and said, "Thank God." The king often laughed and shook his head. "Obi, you and this your thank God." But Obi would only grin and reply again, "Thank God, my king." Everyone in the palace knew that wherever Obi was, they would surely hear those two words, "Thank God." One bright morning, the king called out, "Obi, get ready. We are going hunting today." Obi jumped with joy. "Thank God, my king," he said, as usual. The king laughed and shook his head. Soon, they rode into the thick forest, followed by a few guards. The trees were tall, and birds sang above them. After hours of walking, the king spotted a big antelope drinking from a stream. He aimed his gun carefully and pulled the trigger, bang! But instead of shooting forward, the gun burst backward and shot off his thumb. The king screamed in pain. "Oh! My thumb! My thumb! My thumb!" he cried as blood dripped to the ground. Obi ran to him quickly, looked at the thumb, and shouted, "Thank God, my king." The guards froze. The king stared in shock. His face turned red with anger. "What did you just say, Obi?" "Thank God, my king." Obi said again. That was the moment the king's anger boiled like fire. He could not believe his ears. His thumb had just fallen off and his hand was bleeding. The pain was sharp, yet Obi was shouting, "Thank God." "Guards," the king roared. "Take this foolish boy away from my sight and throw him into the prison." Obi blinked in surprise. "My king, did I do something wrong?" "Yes," the king shouted. "You laughed at my pain." Before Obi could say another word, two guards dragged him away. They threw him into a dark prison room. The door slammed shut. Inside, Obi sat on the cold floor. Meanwhile, in the palace, the king sat with his bandaged hand, frowning and angry. He muttered to himself, "Thank God for this pain. What nonsense." But that night, as he tried to sleep, the king couldn't stop hearing those two words echoing in his head,